Welcome to Astro Life on Instagram. Well, I know it's not a Wednesday, but today is a special podcast. I announced that I'm going to run it because about the Titan submarine things. Oh, I think that basically, I think someone remind me it's not a submarine because they could not move. Okay, so yes, well, today's podcast I'm going to talk about few-layer chart and also about the important date. Okay, so also if you're happy to join me, most of my colleague, if I know you, I will be very happy to have you join me and discuss a few things. All right, so the first is about the first chart I want to share. Is the Aries Ingress chart. Okay, Aries Ingress chart, because this is a very important chart. Okay, yes, we are all talking about the these submarine dive things and also when is departure time. Well, I spent a long time to dig out when is departure time, so I'm very happy to share it later. Okay, but first, one thing as a mundane astrologer, I'm going to tell you, the event type is important, but it is very important to help us to share, help us to study the what's going on, the event, and what kind of angle they have. But honestly speaking, if we are going to use astrology for forecasting, and then the event time is not very helpful apart from the outer planet transit we can forecast, but we don't know when the planet is going to the angle. So that's the things we have to bear in mind. That's why when I study all these kind of things, I prefer to start with the Ingress chart, or the new moon, full moon, eclipse chart. So the first chart I'm going to share with you is the Ingress chart. We have, just bear with me. Okay, I think this would be the Ingress chart we have. Wow, I think yes, but I don't know why this chart becomes so big. All right, let me do another way around. I know, because I was in the beginning, I said I want to share this, but it is very difficult. I don't want to do this. All right, just bear with me. But you can see in this Ingress chart, I don't know, could I move it? I don't know. No, I couldn't move it. Okay. Well, in this Ingress chart, you can see the Mars. Mars is on the right on the MC in that location, St. John's in Newfoundland. Okay, and you probably couldn't see it, so I have to adjust a little bit. Bear with me. All right. Okay, let me move my camera and see if I can do that trick. Okay. Yes. So, let me come back to the, I don't know how I come back. Stop sharing. Okay, stop sharing. And here we are. Okay, hope this is better. All right, now you can see this is Aries Ingress chart in 2023 and in St. John area. And you have Mars right on the MC, and then square Neptune and the Sun. But very interesting is this square, because the Mars is 27 degree Gemini, and then the Neptune is 26 degree Pisces. And you have to notice that because the recent new moon is coming to 26 Gemini too. So this new moon trigger that Mars-Neptune square. Okay, this is what we call trigger. Okay. The another things is, if you're going to check this chart, now you're going to see this chart is very interesting. This is the Titanic launch chart in the 31st of May, 1911. Then when you see this chart, we have also few things similar. We have that Mars at 28 degree Pisces, and then square the Pluto at 26 Gemini. This is the launch chart. This is the launch chart. So when the Titanic was built in 1911, okay, and this, have you noticed the coincidence? But for these two things, when you put the chart together, then you will see we have the Aries Ingress Neptune on the Titanic launch chart Mars, and we will have we have the Aries Ingress Mars is right on the Pluto, right on the Titanic Pluto. Another things, well, because we have the the moon of the Aries Ingress chart is right on the descendant of Titanic chart. This is very interesting. This is very interesting chart because we can see that moon in Pisces sit right on it. Okay, so another things I think is very interesting, which I'm going to share with you, is the let me bear with me. Yeah, the solar eclipse chart. Here we are. We have a solar eclipse chart in St. John area. Okay, look here. This year we have the solar eclipse on 20 degree April, and 20 April, sorry, 20 April is at 29 degree Aries. 29 degree Aries. Okay, 29 degree Aries. In this area, okay, we have that the Aries Ingress chart, and we have, look, Mars 13 degree Pisces right on the angle. Okay, what does that mean? For the mundane astrologer, we know that is a dangerous sign. Okay, that's a dangerous sign and out of there. But more interestingly, let me go into back to the chart. Here we are. This is the astro map based on this solar eclipse. And you will see, if I draw it from the capital of the Canada, Ottawa. Okay, this is how you do in the mundane astrology. How you did it in the mundane astrology is that if you are going to study a particular case happen in certain country, you can usually use the capital to draw the important chart and to see their relation with particular location. In this case, we have the Canadian capital, Ottawa, and then you draw the chart and you will see here, you got Pluto local space line go through here, Pluto line go through here, and here you got the Mercury IC line, and here I think you got Mars descendant line. So three line kind of a parent together, not really parent. Okay, if you have the Mars descendant and the Mercury IC, yes, they are parent in this area. Okay, and then this is local space Pluto line, which usually tell us the Pluto flavor in this area. This is how you use the astro map in the mundane astrology. Well, I didn't put many the eclipse charts, so I have to swap back, but it's not too difficult for me. I'm going to show you the lunar eclipse chart. Basically, when you see the lunar eclipse chart in this area, nothing particularly draw your attention as nothing on the angle, but very interesting. If you notice on the lunar eclipse this year, I think it's the 5th of May, you have Venus again at 27 degree Gemini. This, how many times we see this degree now? 27 degree Gemini in lunar eclipse, square Neptune. Okay, square Neptune. Remember, let me remind you, we already talked about this degree. This is this year Neptune degree at the 26 Pisces and not move very far. But in the Aries Ingress chart, we have Mars in this location. We have Mars. And now for the lunar eclipse, we have Venus in this area. Let me show you something else. As I say, you can usually check the chart from the capital area. So I'm going to share, I think I did see, probably I'm not showing these. Give me a second, I think. Lunar eclipse in the location. Anyway, I'll show you this chart later, but let us look these things. Okay, after check on the eclipses and also after checking on those Ingress chart, we can go to check the new moon and the full moon. Okay, new moon and the full moon. Now here we have this new moon. This is the new moon on the 19th of May, 2023. Well, you will ask why we use 19th of May, because the submarines event happen just on the current new moon on the 18th of June. Well, the reason is the whole journey. This is very important when I study all the accident about especially traveling one, like a shipwreck or airplane crash. You have to study from the point that whole journey begin. And this is not just about a submarine dive. The whole expedition, whole journey beginning on the 16th of June, and that was before the current new moon. So we have to check previous new moon and look again. This we have in this area, we have Sun and Moon conjunct at 28 degree Taurus, and for this area, have you seen that Saturn is at the 6 degree Pisces on the angle, and this usually give us a warning. This also usually give us a warning about this new moon. This area will have very powerful Saturn flavor. Okay, this is how we read the chart. The angle are usually very, very important. The angle are usually very, very important. And nevertheless, if we move this chart, I think this is a full moon, this is new moon. Okay, and if we move this to the full moon, at the 4th of June, then you will have the sun opposite moon right on the MCIC axis. Again, have you noticed we have Saturn in this ascendant? So let me repeat. In the previous new moon, Saturn on the descendant on the angle. For the current full moon, we have Saturn on the ascendant. Okay, and the Sun Moon opposition on the MCIC. We know about this time. This is the I think this is a chart from Ottawa, and you will notice if we switch this full moon to the capital city of Canada, you will have Pluto right on ascendant, and then kind of opposite Venus, and Mars is not far from descendant. Nevertheless, you will see Uranus on the IC. So this is why I say when you study these kind of things, when you study these kind of things, you probably want to use the capital area. I see there's some friend sent me the request to join me. So bear with me, okay? I will quickly finish all this chart, and then I'm very happy to have some colleague join me. All right, especially if you are professional astrologer, I'm very happy to maybe just send me a comment and then tell me what you're going to talk about, and then I'm very happy to invite you to join me. But not now, all right? Let me finish the things. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is also very interesting. Like I say, I use the full moon chart. I use the full moon chart and then draw an astro map. Then you will see here, we have, I think it's a Saturn line cross over where the Titanic rig, where this Titan think also the same area. So you have see this, okay? This is the Saturn ascendant line cross here. So this is kind of a, well, from astrological view, you probably rarely see this kind of things happen after one after another. So here we have, look here, this chart is from the 18th of June. So let me remind you, this time we have Sun and Moon conjunct at 26 Gemini. Remember, we say that from the beginning, they have, in the Titanic chart, they has the in this area, this was the I think Pluto in this degree, and then square Neptune on the 27th of Neptune for the Titanic. This is the Mars position. Okay, this is the Mars. But in this chart, very interesting. Saturn in Ottawa's ascendant, and then you have this square. I think most astrologers agree, for the sea affair, for sailing, this is not a great idea about new moon square the Neptune. We will kind of suggest to be very careful with everything related to water, ocean, poison, anything related to Neptune. I think most astrologers will agree with me. Now we can move to another chart. I'm sorry, because I was supposed to use the Instagram function, but the chart showing a little bit difficult showing it. Okay, this is the same chart, but I use the St. John is where from Newfoundland where the ship departure, and this is the 18th of June. By this time, let me say, by this time we already learned that I think the submarine and the 5 people inside we miss them. Okay, and in this chart we can see Chiron on the ascendant. We can see the Chiron on the ascendant, and this square of the Sun and the Neptune is happen between the 3rd house and the 12th house. 3rd house and the 12th house. So this is the chart. All right. Now, let's go to one thing, which is the beginning time. Let me say that for the beginning time, it is very difficult to find. When we read the news, most media give us the time when they lay down the submarine. Let me call it submarine. I know it's not correct word, all right? And if anyone can correct me, please let me know. Okay, when that submarine dive into the sea, most people have that time is the 18th of June, I think around 12 o'clock UTC, if I remember correctly, is 12 o'clock UTC. But honestly with you, this for me, this is not this chart means something, but not most important. Why? Well, still means something, but for me, the whole journey counts, because if you are going to do the forecasting, you are not going to run the chart. Oh, this is not a good moment. You probably a few months ago you started to look at it. You first look at the eclipse chart. You first look the Ingress chart, and you look at new moon, full moon. Are they good? Are they good for this type of activity? Well, then you come to the exact time of departure of whole event. When I study all this kind of sea rig or the airplane crash, I noticed the departure time is very important. The whole journey is so very important. So I spent a lot of time trying to dig out what is the exact time. Remember a couple of years ago, I think it's a couple of years ago, in the Suez Canal, there is a ship called Ever Given, and that whole ship rigs block whole Suez Canal. Then I try to find the departure time of that ship, and then now I learned how to find the sailing things. Is you're going to find so-called port code. Then here we are. I'm going to share the data information with you. So this is what I get from the internet. The ship called Polar Prince. Polar Prince. It is the ship carry out whole mission, because as I told you, this submarine cannot move. No, they just dive. They cannot move. So they rely on the ship to carry them out. So this is the exact time. If you can see it from here, then they tell you the ship departure on the 16th of June, 12:10. Let me remind you, this is the UTC. This is the UTC. So we have to convert it to the local time. So the local time is 9 o'clock 40 minutes. 9 o'clock 40 minutes from the St. John. This is the departure chart. Well, we were not surprised to see Mars act in this chart again. Mars is so active for whole incident, and we know this is a implosion, not explosion. It's kind of an interesting way to read it. Okay, let us see how they works. The first, you have Mars, Venus, and I think if you use lilies, dark moon lilies, it's all around this area, especially lilies is right on the ascendant. Okay, but I didn't use lilies here in this chart. And you have Jupiter is on MC. Well, you really hope that Jupiter works to bring them back, but unfortunately this time it doesn't work in that way. All right, and then we have, remind you, if you think about it, because when you read the news, they say implosion. It's not explosion. So it's not explode toward outside. It's crash from outside because the pressure is so big. When you think about pressures, what do you think in astrology? Something give the pressure. That's a Saturn. That is Saturn. So Mars has something to do with it. Mars-Uranus has something to do with it, because we have a Mars-Uranus square. It's pretty close at this moment. Mars is 16 degree Leo, and Uranus is 21 degree. They start to kind of square each other, and also Venus is also approach to Mars. And then we have Saturn in 7 degree Pisces square Mercury. Square Mercury and the moon. From the 8th house cusps. All right, I don't think we need more than that. Okay, so this is the exact departure time. I have to mention this. Another of my colleague, Anna Crystal Leon. I have to mention her name. She is a fantastic astrologer. I think she is like she has that energy driven to dig all the information, and this is her. I think is kind of her interest now. So when every time there is a incident, she's trying to find the exact time. And according Anna's information, she say the exact departure time is 9 o'clock 44. So 4 minutes later than the data I found. But just share this information with you. Another things, let us see this one. This is pretty interesting, and if you are look at, so I will show you the data in one side. This is in the inner view is the Titanic launch from the 31st of May 1911. All right, and then another side is our Titan Polar Prince departure. Okay, so this is the Polar Prince, also called Titanic expectation departure of this Titanic tragedy. Okay, so you already see, I think without I mark it out, I think you already see how many outer planet conjunction you can see from this chart. From here, we have transiting Pluto exact conjunct Titanic Uranus at 29 degree Capricorn. We have the transiting Saturn on that day conjunct Titanic Chiron at 7 degree Pisces. That is just 1 degree away. We have Neptune at 27 degree Pisces, exact conjunct Mars at 28 degree Pisces. All right. And also we have a look the inner planet. I usually don't count it, but this is very interesting. We have Moon conjunct Mercury at 5 degree Gemini and 8 degree Gemini. Trigger conjunct that Titanic Sun at 8 degree Gemini. Moreover, I think this is the key. The daily departure, the Sun is at 25 degree Gemini, exactly on the Pluto of Titanic chart, 26 degree Gemini. I think maybe it's all this kind of thing make me think, oh, I have to run a special podcast to share with you. Especially, I mean, I write an article, but how many of you want to read a long article about this? So I think I'm quite happy to record a live session, and if any of my colleagues want to join me, I will share. I'm very happy to have a discuss with you. Okay, but please send me the message to let me know what you want to talk. If not, I don't know you. If I don't know you, and I don't know what you're going to talk. Okay, please. Okay. Oh, okay. MC says, I wonder what the chart of the old individual who unfortunately passed away in this accident shows. Such a shame. I think, MC, I think on the Facebook, I remember astrologer from the United States, what is his name? Maurice Fernandez. He has more or less found nearly everyone's chart. Not exactly birth time, but at least you have their birthday. He did that. So go to check it on his Facebook, all right? I think you will find the thingy. And I think I have the chart, but I will, if I have time, I can share with you later, all right? Okay, so another thing, I'm quite happy to share this. I mean, this is their first dive. Okay, I think this is not their first dive. Oh, I'm really sorry. Just give me a second. All right. Let me share from. Okay, this is not the first dive chart. This is the time they dive. They let down the submarine. This is the time they let down the submarine. So you will see very interesting. Nearly the same time, nearly the same chart. I think. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, this is the time they let submarine go into the sea. Going to the sea. It happened at 9:30. 9:30 local time. So you can see again, you have Mars on the angle and Jupiter on the angle. Okay, this is the nearly the same chart, but the Moon in the different position. Moon this time has quincunx Pluto. Okay, so this is two different charts. Let me show you. First, you have this chart. Moon is at 5 degree. I think it's 5 degree Gemini. This is the departure time. This is departure time. Mars on the ascendant. 2 days after this journey, they arrive where Titanic remain. It is, and they launch the submarine. They let it coming down. Okay, now moon, because this is happened just after new moon, and the moon is quincunx Pluto. Moon is quincunx Pluto. So bear in mind, this is a pretty intense. This is pretty intense. Then we compare these two charts together. We compare two charts together. We can see, okay, what's the chart? Okay, on the inner chart, we have the moment Titanic sink. Okay, it's the chart. The incident happened just before midnight of the 15th of April 1912. Okay, here I use the UT 2:38. Okay, now we can see. We know the day Sun conjunct the transit Sun conjunct Pluto, and you will notice the Moon is on the Mars, on the chart of Titanic sinks Mars, and you have the sink chart Mars. You have the Mars, current Mars, square the Titanic sink chart Saturn and Uranus on it. So the Mars, Uranus touch this Saturn. And then you have Chiron with North Node, you have Neptune with the Moon, you have Saturn with Chiron again, and you have Pluto with Uranus. This is when you have this is two different charts, okay? I'm talking about different moments to put them together. I'm going to share with you, just bear with me a moment. I want to find the chart. About a few things. I know how to do it now. Sorry, I was just like, what should I do? Okay, so here is those chart I prepared, but also I think there is the first dive chart worth to look, and also the Ocean Gate and the owner's chart we can talk about. But before that, I'm curious if my colleague will have something to share with me, but or you can send me the message. All right, you can send me the message. Okay. Then, well, the first things I'm going to share this because it's very interesting that here is another first dive chart. Okay. It's like a maiden journey. Okay. When was that Titan submarine-ish thingy been first tested in this location? It was tested on the 12th of July 2021. 2021. First time this submarine dived into the same location to test. So this is their maiden journey. But unfortunately, we don't have any detail. I don't know why. This company and this CEO make whole things with great mysterious. We never get the detail. If the ship didn't have to register, I think he probably don't want to register the name or something. So they didn't announce when was departure and this and that. So it's a little bit difficult, but I hope I can find the time. But here I have the chart when they announced the success of this dive. So they say we are on our way back. We just success for the first dive of Titan submarine, and we are on the way back to San John. So we know they still use San John as the port, as their base to departure and the return. This is the moment I get the information from Twitter. They tweet their success, and the time I converted from the UTC to the local time. Let me remind you, the chart you see, it is not exact moment they launch this Titan submarine, but after, which means when they finish, but they announce it. So bear in mind, are we really going to use angle or not? Up to you. What I want to share with you, although I have to, when I see the angle, I really want to talk about that Uranus and the descendant, but I know I shouldn't, because this is not the exact moment, okay? But there's something. Have you noticed the Venus is exact conjunct Mars? And guess what we are experiencing now? Venus is approaching Mars, trying to conjunct it. And both planets square Uranus that moment. And okay, we have the moon. Moon is not square Uranus, but let me remind you. Moon probably square conjunct Mars and the square Uranus when the time they launch the whole journey, or when the time they let the submarine to dive for first time. Which means it's very likely you have a Moon, Mars, Venus triple conjunction and square Uranus. If this is the maiden journey chart for a vehicle, you probably will very careful about everything. Don't you think so? Especially if you read the news, they don't have many control on this vehicle. I think mostly rely on the people on the top surface to tell them what to do, and which is pretty scary. Okay, so this is their first dive, and then I'm going to show you another chart with you. How about this? I don't really want to make a fuss, but this is the CEO of Ocean Gate. This is the CEO of Ocean Gate. His name is Scotland Rush, and I only have his birth date. We don't have birth time. All right, let me remind you again. We don't have birth time. We can see this is a noon chart, and what he has. He has the sun in 10 degree Aries and 60 quadrant Uranus at 26 degree Leo. He has many 26 degree and 25 degree. He has his Mercury at 25 Pisces. Again, this is the degree where Titanic Mars, where we have the very close to this year's the eclipse chart, and we also have the Neptune at this point. All right. Now we also have looked at. I'm not expert about Sedna. I mean, if my friend Leanne or Fernando is here, they will tell you more about that. Venus at 26 degree conjunct Sedna at 27 Aries. Okay, and we know it's Pluto square these both planet at this moment. Okay, Pluto square both of them planet. And then what is about Sedna? Sedna is the lady, is the goddess of the sea for the inner people. And what area they are sailing now is Sedna's area. And recently, if you are the follower, you noticed that last time when I run a podcast, me and my friend, we talked about Sedna just moved into Gemini, 0 degree. Okay, Sedna just moved into Gemini, 0 degree. So this is his chart, and the very words to look at. His birthday was 31st of March, 1962. He was born in San Francisco, but I don't have exact time, so I use the noon chart. The final things I'm going to share with you, is the accompanying chart. And let me remind you, if I know you and you want to have a chat with me for this podcast, you are very welcome. But if I don't know you and, you want to have a chat, better let me know what you want to talk about, because I don't want to be, bombed or something, all right? Okay, so here is Ocean Gate chart. Let me show you here. The Ocean Gate was found in the 13th December 2011. This is the data I found from the Register Office of the United States. Okay, so I did a little bit digging work to work out the company's time. Let me remind you, most people on the Wikipedia, even on the Wikipedia, they told you what they think. They say the CEO say they found the company at 2009. Okay, according all the media, even on the Wikipedia, they tell you the company was founded in 2009. Maybe that's the truth. But they didn't register until the 13th December 2011. Okay, so first, why does this chart matter? Well, we have to examine it, of course, but the company, even though they say they created 2009, but they didn't give exact date, exact time. We couldn't find anything. The only evidence we have is the data from the Register Office, and they write 13th December 2011. Okay, so I use the noon chart. And you will see if we use noon chart, most of people, when we study the company chart, we use the noon chart. Then very funny, you have the 9-degree Pisces, and you have the 9-degree Virgo on the noon chart, and the Mars conjunct descendant. How many times you see Mars on the angle for all this incident? A lot. Okay, and then the Ocean Gate. They have Neptune near the ascendant, 10 degree, I don't want to say conjunct, near there, Ocean Gate. But what kind of Ocean Gate? Chiron was there. Chiron tell you the wounded Ocean Gate. Okay, so I have to say, from the chart of this company, you probably, and you also have Mercury at 3 degree stationary, 3 degree Sagittarius, square Chiron. I don't know what you think. If I know the company, if I know I'm going to have a journey on the sea with any kind of thing, with this company, I probably will really worry about it. What do you think? I don't know. But this is the things I prepare. Just like I really want to share you. I already write an article and put on my website called roadchant.com. If you're interested to go to read it, and I know most people probably prefer to use the video chart and or just like listen to the podcast. So I just share in this format, but basically it's the same thing I share with my article. Well, I'm curious. I keep seeing people, but I think I don't know if they're still there. Okay, so I hope you like this short live podcast. I really don't know if anyone want to join me, and I didn't see any friend I know. Okay, so maybe I will probably, if there's no any question. Oh, okay, let's say that if you have any question or feedback, please leave the message in the comment area. I will soon put this video on the YouTube also here, and so you can leave the message. I'm very happy to continue to discuss about this event, and also there's some further chat to discuss. But I think this is the best things I can do to share the information with you, and I hope you like it. Please like, share, and tell people about our channel and about our Astro Life. Okay, well, thanks everyone. I'm so happy to see everyone here today. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.